welcome back to another edition of Office Hours. I'm happy to say Flo is with me once again. How is it going, Flo?
Doing good, thank you, Matthew. How's it going for you?
All good, all good, all good.
Happy to be here.
And I will jump straight into it because Fred had a message ready in the chat. He says, I built a robust app with WeWeb, but I'm really confused about how forms work in WeWeb. I need help binding my fields and specifying the inputs that get sent to the Xano API request. No worries, Fred. I will put a link in the YouTube chat for you to join us. Fred has joined us.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, can you hear us?
Yes, how you doing today, guys?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. I'm my screen with you. There's real issues. Allow entire screen. Oops.
Cool. We can see your screen.
I've got some kind of echo going here.
You might have the stream still open. That's probably what it is. If you mute the stream or pause it, yeah. Is that better
Okay.
now?
Yeah.
Super.
Okay, so now let's get out of this thing so I can show you my solution. Okay, and you can see my screen okay, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, so I have a form where I'm sending an SMS alert to Twilio. And it's really simple. It's just a message field, and then that form, calls an API request that basically sends a message through Twilio.
Mm-hmm.
So if I go into this, let me get rid of this little window here. So I have a form container here, which I think I got from some library somewhere. I tried to use the built-in WeWeb form container, but I was kind of underwhelmed by that or / confused by it. So I used another one, which is like the starter library or something like that. That's where I got this thing from. So I'm not sure if this is usable or not, but so my idea here is that this, I type into this message and then I hit a button, and the workflow on the form calls that API. So what I have here right now is it's a component. So I can't, if I click on it, I can see that I've got it set to an input type of text area, message, and so forth. If I go into the middle tab here, it shows, an option for initial value and so forth,
Mm-hmm.
and what the placeholder is. And if I go to my workflow, oh, sorry, I should get the workflow on the form actually. So let's go to, I have a send message workflow, and my call to Xano requires the message and a league ID. And so here's where I'm running into issues. There's something about the mental model that I have and how the mental model of these forms work that's just, I'm not getting it. And I'm hoping you can tell me what I'm doing wrong. So if I click to go to bind that, I want to be able to tell it that I just want to take that message field from that form and send that as the message to my API. But if I click on this quick tab or also the variables tab, there's nothing in this stuff, like fields, everything's empty. So I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong there. I know that there's this concept of variables, but I'm not sure if I've got it set up right. I had it working before, and now I can't figure out why it's not working. So can you point me in the right direction there for what I should be doing?
Yes, I think the easiest thing in your case, Fred, because you're using that component, is if you open up the binding for the message you're sending to Xano. Sorry, in the API request to Xano.
Okay.
For this message, yep. If you click into what you're sending for the message, If you go into the second tab where the variables are,
right.
I think that component you're using for the message should expose what's been typed in. So I think it might be, you see in the pages section of variables, yeah, if you expand the message, I think whatever's been typed in will be available here. We could test this out. So if you put it into preview mode and then type something into the input.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah, and then if you go back into edit mode and open up what's being passed for the message, just to make sure that what we've put in there is indeed what gets exposed. Yeah, so I think the easiest thing in your case might just be to use what gets exposed by the input. You could, the form container variable, you can make that work by defining a custom field for the input, but it only really works with our native inputs. And so since you're using that input component, I don't think you could get it to work with our form. So the easiest way for now would just be to do this, if it's not an issue.
Okay, that sounds great, and thank you. That solves my problem. But let me just ask the general question then. If I want to, like, I chose this kind of because I was this particular component. But if I say I want to add just somewhere on this page, if I want to add, and if I go to form, I can't remember where your form dialog is.
I'm not sure either. If you type in form at the top, though, oh, sorry, there it is. I can see it now in the form section.
Form container. Okay, so if I drag a form container in here, yeah, the thing that I wasn't that keen on the native one that you guys have is you used to have a thing where there was a hint that would show, or you could put a label on, and I don't know on this out of the box element here.
Yeah.
How do I expose a label here?
You would have to manually add a text element above it and then make that whatever you want the label to be.
Okay, I think that's why I chose this other component, because it already had a built-in label that I could use. Although the thing that's kind of confusing to me about this this element is if I select it, and then I can change things on the panel on the right-hand side. But if I double-click it, now I'm getting into the actual component, right?
Yes.
If I try to change the name of this thing here, anywhere else in my system that I've used this thing, it changes that name too for the label.
Yes. So this is because it's a no-code component and it's made to be reusable. So if you right now you're editing the no-code component, but
right.
if you press back to instance in the top right, yes.
Oh,
I know, it's like, that's good. So you left the instance. And so basically now that you're outside of the component and you're not editing it, what you see here are properties that you can use for this specific instance of the input. So exactly. So whatever you want the label to be for this instance, you could type it here, but I think in your editing, you may have accidentally unbound it. So if you press edit again in the top right to begin editing it, we'll probably just want to rebind it. So yes, if you click the label, and then for the text, if you bind it, and you can bind it to the message property. So I can see it's near the bottom. Yes. So now you could just, whenever you use this component, you can just type whatever you want the label to be into that property, and it will be unique to every instance of the component.
Okay, so now I can go here and I can just change this back to message.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that explains it if I unbound that. Okay, that makes sense. And so now that I just want to click back in here for just 1 second, and then you can go on to somebody else. But so now on this workflow for this form, I just want to go back here and just double check this. So now when I do this, it's actually set up to get the right thing. Okay, great. Thank you for your help, guys. I appreciate it. I know it sounds like such a, forms are such a fundamental thing in any web app. And I've got this whole big, robust app, but the forms sections are parts that I've struggled with. So thank you.
No worries at all.
No. But it gets complicated when you're using components, so we can totally understand. And I think some actions are missing. Just to update the form container, with a component like this. So basically having a workflow within the component to be able to send, to have basically the value of your component inside the form fields by default. So you won't have to look for the variable.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Super. Right. Cheers, Fred.
Thank you, Fred. Should definitely update this.
And then we had a question from Needlebit. I think this might have been Anton, one of our regulars. I saw him join a second ago. Says, I have also a question about the forms, placed it in the forum. I want to integrate the component to a form container as a field. Also tried to find a way to change visibility of AI generated content and failed. I think this is you, Anton, because I think you joined us while we were talking to Fred. If you're still there, please feel free to join back. I'll put a link in the chat again, just in case you need it again. And we can discuss it together. But yeah, just to give you context, Flo, if Anton does join us, his question that he had on the forum was related to, he was building a custom coded component. And like Fred just showed, how whenever you put an input inside of a form, in the settings tab, you have the ability to define fields that are specific to the form. Like you can define what this inputs field name should be in the form. He was wondering how he could set that up on his own custom coded component for some kind of input that would be inside of a form. Yeah.
So to do this, what you can, the input component, the one that you can find in the panel, is open source. So I should be able to find the link for you, and you could feed the AI with this, I guess. Let me just find it. So select.
I think Anton has joined us back. Are you there, Anton? Okay, maybe he's still connecting. He's in the lobby. Okay, can you hear us, Anton? I think we can hear you now.
I can hear you, and probably you can hear me, but you can see only the black screen.
It does the job. Cool. So it's
yeah.
There we go.
You can see me now.
Yes.
I've created a topic on the forum. I'm trying. The thing is, Google updates the terms of service, and if we use old reCAPTCHA version 2, like we used it before, it still adds this blue badge on the bottom right angle, bottom right side of the screen. So it's easier to use version 3 reCAPTCHA, which don't force user to click somewhere. It just works with having the same reCAPTCHA badge. I'm still trying to find a new way to get rid of this badge, because it's really ugly, in my opinion, and it doesn't fit the design of the application, let's say. And I tried to create a version 3 reCAPTCHA. I've created it. It works, and the only problem I have, I wanted to use this value when I work with a form as a form. So in Classic, in your version 2 capture, you have this option this option to integrate into the form, but it doesn't work in the newer version of forms, I think so. And I tried to somehow make my component work as a form field, but didn't succeed. I've opened the WeWeb basic element, basic input, and select inputs, and they're built and written very different ways. I'm still trying to get it. I've seen you've created a video to how to work with WeWeb using cursor. Haven't tried it yet. I'll try it. But maybe you know the quick answer. Maybe you have the quick solution.
I'm not sure. Yes. Do you know, Flo, how it would actually work in terms of setting up an input, a custom coded input to handle the specific form fields that we have in the settings? Because if not, Anton, I think your best bet would just be to give the existing components we have those inputs to AI, and then ask it how it's doing it, and using it to create it.
So just copy your component and
then
add it as a custom component, and then ask AI to update.
Exactly. So basically, whether starting from that component or take a look to it to find out where are those fields you are looking for.
Got it. That's a nice idea.
You do know where it is, the web assets on GitHub?
Yeah. I'm using those as a reference, but they work different ways, and I try to use ChatGPT to compare what the common thing with these elements, but I'll try again. And the way you said, it's a nice idea.
I try, Anton. So how I usually do something like this is the cursor video, I guess, is a good one to go off, where I'll use cursor, and in the repo of the custom coded component, I'll have a folder with a bunch of our existing components. It's like an ignore folder, and I have a rule set to say, don't use anything in the ignore folder. These are example WeWeb components, And so I think you could create an ignore folder in the repo of your custom coded component. You could put in our existing components, like the input component, the select component, all of that stuff. And then you could just pass the entire collection of our elements into cursor, and then just say, in these elements, there is some way they are setting up functionality with our form, replicate the same in our custom coded component kind of thing. And it should be able to do a pretty good job. I found when you pass in our elements as context to cursor or Claude Code, whatever it is, and then ask it to replicate something, it does it really well.
Okay, I'll try. The second question, and I'm working on a new project, and I've got to hide all the labels to break the MVP NDA. So I can show you. The question is, when the client comes with a pre-generated with your AI, pre-generated something with your AI, sometimes AI creates hide conditions which I can't change. And I tried different ways. I tried to bind something to value. I tried to click on off. I tried to reset the value. The only thing which was working was when I tried to create a style and then disable the style. Only this way. So maybe there is, I'll create a bug report, but maybe there is another way to clean these heights conditions.
Yes, when I've experienced this, there's only two ways I've found to fix it. If it does happen, it's to, I think you mentioned it, you reset the styling. So you click on the property itself and then you press reset to reset it. And if that doesn't work, in truth, the only way I've found sometimes to properly fix it, if it's a single element, like an outer container, is to just drag a div myself onto the page and then just move the contents into my own manual div, just so I basically create a new one. Unfortunately, sometimes that is the only solution, but it should be pretty quick, I found, because usually the problem is in like the outer containers. And so it's quite easy to just drag your own div onto the page and then drag the contents to your new div.
For TypeScript, it hides elements, not just containers. And this way, the only thing which works every time, but requires a lot of time, is to create a style and then enable the style and disable the style. When it disables the style, it resets for sure. Not like
Yeah, you might have some ghost data somewhere, and maybe those kind of things. And, indeed, sometimes it's hard to reset.
But yes, it's something on our side definitely. But for the time being, unfortunately, it's probably the best is the reset and enabling the styling.
Okay, got it. So there is no other way.
Unfortunately, no.
Right.
Thank you. I don't have additional questions now.
No, okay, no worries. It's if there's any more, feel free to pop in because I think it's quiet tonight, so we'll be here.
Thank
Cool.
you.
Right. Cheers, Anton.
Interesting questions. So we might need to the starter kit, I think, with form elements and levels, those kind of things. I think may need to revamp this.
Yes, I think it's I think a starter kit was created before a lot of the new elements came in. So
Exactly. So we could update those form elements for so Fred won't have to figure out how it works.
Yeah,
it could be a nice way to do it. And yeah, and for you, Anton, I know what you need is an MCP server for code. So I do have this in mind. Don't worry. We are pushing internally to prioritize that, and it will come for sure. When exactly, I cannot tell you yet because we need to release many things before, but for sure this is going to be a priority just after. Yeah, we will definitely do that. Update the starter kit with all the new elements, the forms, and I think we do need an update for a value action, so you can use any no-code component. And yes, for AI, I can tell you that the team is working hard to update it. So a whole new orchestration is going to be tested. And normally you should have a lot more control on what AI is going to do. So you're going to be able to validate and say yes or no for a session or for anything that AI will do. So you will feel more in control of what it's doing. And hopefully with this new orchestration, we'll be able to do a lot more specific things and have less custom JS. So we're already testing this new orchestration, and honestly, it's promising. So I can't wait to put that into your hands so you can test it. So we do need to be a bit more patient, but I know it's hard.
soon. Hey, Giovanni.
All right. Don't be shy. I'm sure you have some questions.
Yes, indeed, Anton. The whole we'll see where prompt engineering goes, because even external agents have a bit of like a security risk with browser agents and all that stuff. So who knows where prompt engineering will go in the future. Giovanni asked Flo, how is the progress on the upcoming WeWeb updates? Will the UX update come together with the backend feature, or will the UX updates come first? I think you're on mute, Flo.
You're right, sorry. Thank you. Many UX updates will come with the backend feature. So I can tell you that I'd like to show you right now, but this is still a testing phase, so we are some things that still need to be fixed. So I prefer to show you maybe next week. I think we'll be ready. So I can do a small tour and get your feedback next week with what we have, and I can't wait to do that, to be honest. But yeah, this is going to be really a new interface. We took the time to update many things, to really update also the UI, and of course some UX things like gathering workflows into one place, so you won't have to click everywhere to find them. And the navigation will be different. Well, I will make a tour next week with all the things, and I can't wait to do that. But yes, this is going to be a big update. And to be honest, this is a new version of WeWeb that we're going to release.
Yeah. And then Anton asked about the H capture. I'm not too sure what H capture is. Is there any implementation of H capture available? I've seen the setting to pass H capture token, but I haven't found the implementation available. Do you know what H capture is, Flo? I'm honestly not too sure.
No, I'm not sure.
In the Superbase WeWeb plugin.
In the Superbase web plugin, we have this. Oh, I forgot about that. Let me check. And sign in, email password, and sign up. Ah, okay. This one. So let me just add it here. Okay, sign in.
if you're ever curious about this kind of thing, Anton, for any of our plugins, like the components, all of the plugins are also open sourced. So you can actually, if you want, give the code of our plugins to something like GBT and ask it a question like this, which is what I'm doing right now. So I've just given our plugin code to GBT, and according to GBT, it's wired so that it assumes you already have a HCAPTCHA from the front end. So it's just so you can input a HCAPTCHA token, and then it forwards it to Supabase. But I'm not clued up enough to know what you actually do with it then in Supabase.
And that's a good point. You do need a component that we don't have for this. We did not productize that. I'll ask the team and get back to you with this. I'm pretty sure it's not that complicated. Because we do have a reCAPTCHA, but from Google on our side. And this one is quite different.
Cool. And Niels has joined us. I will bring Niels in. Hey Niels, how's it going?
Hey, how are you? I'm not sure if can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, okay, good. I was also on the YouTube, and the delay between YouTube and here was so big. I wasn't sure if this was gonna work.
No worries. How's it going?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Good, good, good. How can we help?
This is my first time here, but I had some like simple UI things, and I didn't want to create new topics for everything in the forum, and I was like, maybe I'll just try and do it here.
That's what we're here for.
Awesome. I think I shared my screen, but I'm not sure if you can see it now. Oh, yeah.
Yes, we can see it now.
Awesome. Yeah, it's mostly regarding some UI things. Like I have these drop downs here, for example, and I just, for the life of me, can't make them be closed when you navigate. And then you have to click outside of it again
Yes.
in order for it to close.
Do you want to like do it as a batch and then we say at the end, or do you want to go through it one by
Sure,
one?
sure. Well, yeah, sure. I have it here and there, and then I also have these states where I have this drop shadow. But if I close it by clicking on here, it stays in that state. If I click next to it, it does actually change the state, as you can see,
Yes.
which I thought was interesting. And also with this one, I'm not able to create a workflow that's when it's opened. So I can create a workflow for when I click, but that means when I click to close, it runs the workflow again. And I couldn't find any way to trigger a workflow to the dropdown being open or closed.
Cool.
I mean, for now, that's like the most important little UI things that I'm struggling with.
Cool. Did you design this, by the way, or did you use AI? The design's really cool.
No, thanks. No, it's all me.
Wow, nice. Okay, very cool. Yeah, so for the drop down in the top right, could you put it into edit mode?
Mm-hmm.
And then
I ran into another nice thing here, where if it's a component, then the drop down goes outside. You can't really.
So how are you? So you're using you're using our native drop down. If you select the drop down in the layout tree on the left, I think it's the user one.
Yeah.
And then if you go into the settings of it, so you've got initial display off. And so what was it? Sorry. So whenever you navigate to a different page, because. Right. Okay.
Yeah. So let's say I want to go to whatever my gear, then it stays open.
It's the multi-page section, so it doesn't. Right. Okay.
Which becomes annoying when it's like this. Let's say I have this, and I go somewhere on mobile. Also stays open. So when you're on your phone and you have to manually close it, it's like
Yep.
annoying.
I think So I'm not too sure on this element, but I hope it does it. If you click into this, and then if you click onto one of the options, so you've got it selected here. I think messages, right? You've got one of the items selected. If you go into the workflows,
Yeah.
and then if you create a workflow, I just want to check if there's an action available for this element because I'm not too sure. If you add an action,
I think you can close the. Yeah, I think so.
So if you go to execute component action, it's one of the actions available here. I'm hoping we expose it to close it. No, we don't, unfortunately. Okay.
Interesting. I mean, I was hoping there was a better way because I do know. Let's say I have a drop down here, and I do manually close this one when I think when I see now it's closed. So I do think I have a action
How do you
here.
do that?
Yeah, good question.
I think it might be like some kind of behind the scenes thing happening where whenever the pop-up closes, it's actually triggering a click in some way or something behind the scenes that isn't actually controlled by you. Like I know a hacky way we could do this, but it's quite hacky. I don't know if you have any other ones, Flo.
Well, my hope was that there was some sort of native way or setting I was missing, or
unfortunately not for this drop-down element.
Because I was figuring if anyone would be using something like this for a mobile menu, right? Like a slide.
So, yeah, have you got any ideas, Flo?
No, let me quickly test something on my side.
Because I'm thinking the hacky way could be that basically whenever you click outside of it, it closes. So I'm thinking we could just set something up so whenever the menu items is pressed, we just have some JavaScript that runs that clicks something outside of the element to simulate a click outside so it closes. But yeah.
I mean, I'm assuming this, right? Now I sort of, yeah. So now I created for this one, I could see the.
I think because it's a pop-up, maybe.
Well, no, now it works. I have
it's a dialogue.
Where is it? So
yeah.
This one is a dialogue. So here I managed to.
Yeah, so it's because it's the dialogue element, it does expose the open and close, but the drop-down doesn't, unfortunately. Let's try the hacky way just to check. So if you put it into edit mode, and if you see the lost and found text you have, one of the items in the top nav, you see you have a lost and found. Yeah, if you go into the settings tab of this, the one to the right, sorry.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
And then if you just in the ID input near the bottom,
yeah.
If you just type in like AAAA, just something random that will just use the test.
Sure.
Yes, if you give me 1 second, I just need to ask my good friend ChatGPT for some JavaScript.
Okay, I should reproduce.
Okay, give me just 1 second.
Okay, so I don't know why, but you do have the component action. I don't know why we missed it before. So normally, just before doing the navigate to, you should be able to close the dropdown before moving to another page. So yeah, could you go back here? I suppose in here. Okay. So I guess you have a link on this, right? If you just to check out, if you close it and you go to the setting tab in here, yeah, if you click on that one, and I suppose you have a link. Okay, so we are going to change this. So in here, instead of link to page, could you just remove that link? No link. Okay, super. And we are going to do it with a workflow. So instead, we are going to cheat a
Okay.
bit. So in here, you can navigate to super and select the I think it was messages.
I forgot messages. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I think it was that. And before doing this, yeah, could you move that action at the top? Yes, perfect. Here, super. And here you should be able to select the component. So maybe you gave it a name to that one. Do you remember the name?
I think it was user something.
Yeah, user menu, right? But for some reason, that's the only one that doesn't seem to show up in this list.
Yeah.
But I guess I didn't make it a component. Hold
It
on.
should be here. Can you
Right?
go
If
to
it's not a
layout?
component, does it
User
not show?
drop down.
Sorry, there's a much easier way we can actually do this. Sorry, my bad. If you click on the pencil icon, I'm pretty sure there's an option to close on click inside. So if you see that the one underneath, close on click,
Yeah.
if you change, wait, it should close on click inside. So why is it not closing? Because it said to always.
You tell me.
Okay, that's very odd because it should, even if
Yeah.
you click inside of it, it should close. Okay, that's odd.
Yeah, right. This. I might need to take a deeper look. Let me check again.
Okay, that's an odd one then. Sorry, Niels. In the meantime, Linda,
No
let's
worries.
just see if my hacky solution does anything. So I'm just I'll put in the private chat on Restream some JavaScript.
Yeah.
And I think you called the element the lost and found text. I think we gave it the ID AA, or was it AAA or something?
Oh yeah, sorry, I removed it because I thought we were.
Oh, no worries,
But yeah.
sorry. Let's
Should I
give
put
this
it
one
on
go.
the Flexbox or on the? Yeah, I guess.
Honestly, you can put it anywhere outside of the dropdown.
Yeah.
And if this works as intended, then it should work. So let's see, because if this works, then I'm just trying to figure out what the crux of the issue is. So if you take that code that's in the private chat on Restream, and then if you
Where do I put it?
on one of the items in the dropdown, so like the messages item, if you go to the workflow on click.
I think it doesn't look like the good, because it should be called drop down and not content. So I'm not sure if it's the right component.
Okay, then let's do you want to try this then, and then we can investigate further? So if you put it into preview, Niels, and you just click the messages, it should work if my hypothesis is correct. Okay. Yeah. So I mean.
Interesting.
It works. I won't tell the team. But be careful, Matthew, next time I'm just a bit confused. I need could you just select the root of that component, the drop down, the user drop down? Yeah, the root elements. Really, this one. Could you go to the setting tab? I need to check name over. Oh, yeah,
that's this one.
Right here. Over drop down, and I think it's not the right one. Let me check on my side. It should be called drop down. So I don't know where you found it. Where you find this. It's not the right one. So if you take a look, yeah, in here, if you drag and drop down, yeah, I think if you use that one somewhere, could you drag and drop it somewhere?
Well, yeah, sure.
Okay, and if you click on it and you go to set, you see it's not the same one.
Okay, but
and I'm pretty sure just to test.
Well, I don't want to burst your bubble, but this one, the notifications drop down, is
the right one.
And it has this. I'm pretty sure it has the same behavior, but I'm not. Oh yeah, because these links
So
don't
you
work yet.
You might have the same behavior, but I'm pretty sure you will find the component action to close it. So remember, we couldn't find in the list the drop down.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Okay. Fair enough.
and I
Yeah,
think that's-
because when we that's why the other one appeared. Right?
Yes, exactly.
Because
And-
when we were going to, oh man, this is.
Yeah, I'm really wondering where you found that one.
I might just be old. I don't know, but that means technically, if we do execute, that's why it's here and not because the notifications drop down is here.
Yeah, and in here you can close it.
Yeah.
So this
Okay.
is how
So
you
I have
manage
to
close the other one, I think.
Yeah. So I have to replace the component and rebuild the drop down.
I think
Okay.
it would be
Okay.
cleaner,
And then
but-
just
but Matthew's
fine.
hack
If-
works.
if
But
that's the
it's not-
solution and I create a workflow on every link, then that's just what it is. I can live with that.
Okay. And then there
So
was
we have
also-
this
there was
state, which I thought was
notifications button, yeah.
interesting. So I have a state focus, but I guess that's not what I should use. Because then
So what-
it stays like this.
Yes. So I think what you would want for this is because the focus on the button stays focused on click. The only way to defocus it is if you click outside of it. But now that we're using this, I hope this drop down exposes a certain thing I want it to. If you click add state, and then you press the bind for the condition, so the plug icon beside the condition. And then I don't think it does, unfortunately. I was hoping it would expose if it's open or not, but we can.
This is a
Well, I guess that's this, right?
No, this is the mobile menu.
We need to expose that state indeed.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't expose it because also I have the action, the load notifications run on click, and I would really like to have it run on when the dropdown is open.
Yes.
That's not an option here.
Yes, unfortunately, without a ton of work, I don't know how you could implement this with the native.
I'll just wait for you guys to create the. I'll just wait for you guys to create it for me. I have time.
Yeah, it's like if you want a one action way to do it, you without a ton of work but still some work, you could probably have some kind of JavaScript that listens for a click outside the button. And when you detect the click outside the button, you stop your custom state, but there's obviously work that goes into that. So if it's not a massive thing for now, it's probably best to just unfortunately keep the focus state or get rid of the focus state.
I'm going to ask for an update. When you
shadow.
click outside, the state should disappear. It's an issue. Don't tinker for this.
All right. Okay, we went through that. Then I guess that works. Yeah. So this is would be a big thing, and we don't have to go through setting it all up. But what I was wondering with the URL. So right now I don't have any. What this does, so I have all these filters, but actually I want to bind them to the URL. Let me know if I ask too many questions. But so right now this doesn't change the actual URL. So let's say I select more brands. I would actually want to have it exposed in my URL. So if someone wants to share this, then it would be exposed in the URL. If you know what I mean.
So you wish to have the features in the URL. This is what you want.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So I have. So this is my, right now this is my API to get all the results. And I just, whenever someone changes the filter, it just requests the
Okay. Got it. So, can you display at least one filter? Maybe there's yeah. Can you display the endpoint that you are requesting with all the filters so I can see how it's formatted? Super. So you've got type holders and where are your filters in here? It's in your inputs. So
Say
for
again?
example, when you click on a filter,
Yeah.
what changes here? It's the type change, for example, or
Yeah, or the,
so it's different for every one category,
yeah.
right? Okay.
So for brands, that's also what makes it harder, especially with, I have, this is an array where I send the ID, because I want to be able to select multiple brands.
Okay. So let's do it. So I'm going to show you how to do it. It's not that simple, but it's not too hard also. So what you need to use, it's what we call a query variable. So let's do one. For example, for brand, create a new variable in here, and yes, it's type query and call it brand, or brand query. No, call it that. This is going to be the name in the URL. So this is what you are going to have in the URL. So I guess.
Yeah.
So brand, and you can create a folder queries. So variable queries, something like this. So you can find them easily, and you can add a default value if you like, but it's not mandatory. If you prefer, it's by default it's now.
No, let's
like
keep
this.
it empty.
Okay, super. So now on your select input for the brand, can you click on it?
Yeah, sorry, hold on.
Yeah, in edit mode, super, and you need to initialize it with that variable. So you might have, it's a component, right? Do you have an init?
Oh yeah, the init value is here.
Okay, super. So in here, okay, you do something on map selected brands. Okay, so you are already using a variable.
Yeah.
So let's do it another way. So okay, you can close this, and let's create a workflow on page load, and we are going to do it another way. So on page load, super.
Oh yeah, I guess it's loading because this is subject. After a while, I'm not even sure what I did already, because
you can have another one. You can create another one.
Yeah, because the thing is, what I'm doing, if someone searches on the someone searches on the homepage here, that's why I created that filter. So if they search on the homepage,
okay,
I'm sending it to the page we were just on.
All right.
That's why that variable and that page load is there.
Okay, so you already have a query variable. You know
it's just not taking it from the URL. Yeah, it's not taking it from the query.
Oh, okay. It's the same.
So
it's going to be initialized with the query. So you basically what you could do in here, you could create another workflow just to initialize your filters. You can call it init filters on page load. And what you are going to do is to initialize your variables with the query values. Okay. And if you publish that, if you add the query in the URL and you go directly to there, that workflow is going to be triggered and your variables are going to be initialized.
So a quick question, because I don't want to go through all this and take all your time, because if I understand the concept, I can probably figure it out. So does that work with multiple, like with an array? If I have does it just add it to the?
That's a good question. So what you need to do is to you might need to stringify your value.
See, and that's why I didn't start yet, and that's why I wanted to ask this question, because I can figure kind of out how to put that query in there. I did it when I do it when when you create an ad and I push the ID. But when you have multiple filters, it becomes hard.
So you have multiple ways to do it. It depends on the filter. You can really stringify anything. So it's really a JavaScript function. So it's called JSON.stringify, and you put the variable, and then it's going to give you a big string. And then when you get that string, you need to use JSON.parse. So I might need to write it somewhere.
Yes, I'm going to take some notes. Hold on.
Yeah. So you can take a look to or ask. I'm pretty sure ChatGPT will help you with this. So it's JSON stringify and JSON.parse. This is what devs are doing. Another way to do it is to create your own algorithm. So for example, you have filter A and you want A and B. So you can add, for example, A_B in the variable, and then you use, I think we have the formula. Let me check just to pass that. Give me just 1 second. It's called split. So maybe I can share my screen. All right. So for example, in here, if you go to the formula, in here, if you go to text, you've got the formula split.
Hold on, should I be seeing your screen now? Because I'm
not sharing. I thought I was sharing.
Give me 1 second. I can.
I might have an issue. Let me try again.
You're sharing now, Flo?
Okay, super. Thank you, Matthew. So in here, you can go to formula. In text, you've got the formula split.
Yeah.
And if you take a look to it, it takes a text first and then a separator. So let's say in your variable you have the filter A and then you have something _B. Okay, this is your string. And what you need to get is A and B, right? So what you can do is to use this formula split, and then you say that the separator is in here, it's underscore, and it's giving you the array.
Yeah. Perfect.
So in here you can add underscore if you like, and you just need to specify what the separator is.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna like encode, decode the query to my before I make the API call. That works.
You can use the split one. It's
perfect.
This one works well. It's and before I was talking about this one. It's JSON.stringify. And in here, you can add something like this. A, and then you've got B, for example. And it's going to give you something like this. So this is what you can add in the URL. This is really it's the bazooka, if you prefer. All right, and then when you get something like this, what you need to do is to JSON.parse like this to decode it, and then you see in here, I get an array.
Yeah. I quickly made a screenshot. I didn't realize you can put these kind of things into a formula either.
it's very
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, you can add JavaScript in here. We are not
If you
saying
know, you know.
yeah. We don't want to really disclose this too much because
Yeah.
we've seen some amazing things in here, like query and those kind of things. And so then it's a loop because it's reactive. So that's
Mm.
why we are not saying it. So please don't make queries in here. But you can
All right.
definitely add JavaScript.
Perfect. Well, I think that's enough information for me to figure out how to do it. Thanks a lot.
Super. Glad we could help. Super cool design again, by the way. Like
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, it's the retro. I've seen a lot of retro themes. It seems to be coming back.
Yeah. All right. Maybe thanks a lot for your time. Maybe till next time. I'm sure I'll have questions later.
No worries. Cool. All right. Cheers, Nils.
Cheers. Thanks.
Cheers. Thank you.
Right, that is us on the hour mark. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Thank you for joining, as always, Flo. We are here
Thank you, Matthew.
every Tuesday, 6 to 7 p.m. Central European time. And yes, until next week. Cheers, everyone.